morning, person watching this. It's Tuesday, and as a side note, did you notice that I didn't say Abby right there? Well, it turns out that that storm that Abby had a few days ago that prevented her from uploading actually completely and utterly killed her internet, and she's not going to be able to upload until July 27th. My hope is that Hope will watch this video and then take that as a cue to upload tomorrow, but if not, I'm pretty sure I have her email somewhere, so I should be able to, like, contact her and get her to upload and stuff. So we're all good. Today we're going to be talking about Pokemon, and before you run away, do not run away, because I'm going to try and make this as explainable to non-Pokemon fans as I possibly can. So here we go. One of the main goals of the Pokemon games is to complete the Pokedex, which is basically this mini computer that stores a bunch of information about Pokemon for you. But when the first installments in the series came out, a problem arose, and that problem was that you can't complete the Pokedex. You see, the first installments in the Pokemon series were played on the Game Boy, and the second installments were played on the Game Boy Color. Those two games were compatible with one another, so if you wanted to, you can take your Pokemon from the first series of games and transport them to a game that you're playing of the second series, and that way you could get the Pokedex data for Pokemon that you could only catch in the first series in your second series game, so that way you can complete the Pokedex. But the third installment of Pokemon was played on the Game Boy Advance, and the Game Boy Advance did not have compatibility with the regular Game Boy, which means that you don't get to complete the Pokedex. To fix this, Nintendo decided they would just take the original Pokemon games and remake them for the Game Boy Advance, so that way people could get all the Pokemon they couldn't catch in the third installment on from the remakes. But it turns out that people really like remakes, so Nintendo just keeps making them. However, as they do this, they take story elements from the non-remake games that came out last and install them into the remakes. For example, Pokemon X and Y have a mechanic called Mega Evolution, and they talk a lot about people not being selfish pieces of crud. The next games that came out, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, actually explained Mega Evolution a bit and also continued to talk about people not being selfish pieces of crud. Nowadays, the most recent installments in the Pokemon series are Pokemon Sun and Moon, and the next games up for a remake are Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. And personally, I think I know how Nintendo might try and draw Diamond and Pearl and Sun and Moon together for a potential remake. But before I say anything, let's all keep in mind that very shortly Nintendo is coming out with more Pokemon games called Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon that are apparently supposed to explain the whole Ultra Space Beast thing a little bit more. So everything I say right following this, as for theory-wise, could be completely wrong, but if that is true, then I will just accept that, and we don't need to talk about it any further, okay? In Pokemon Platinum, it is stated that a Pokemon called Arceus created the world, and it is said that after he did this, he banished another Pokemon called Giratina to a place called the Distortion World. According to the screenshots I've seen online, you can, like, walk on walls and everything is, like, on LSD. This is the only case of an alternate universe in the entire Pokemon universe, except for, oh wait, Ultra Space! Pokemon Sun and Moon feature an alternate dimension called Ultra Space, which is full of Ultra Beasts, and Ultra Beasts are basically legendary Pokemon, except more creepy and able to possess people. It wouldn't really be hard to make a remake of Diamond and Pearl at this point. All you would have to do is just rename the Distortion World Ultra Space and update the graphics a bit. Doesn't this crud just look like something that would be called an Ultra Beast? They wouldn't even have to put it in the main story. They could just do a side post-game story thing like the Delta episode from Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. The Delta episode helped explain things from Pokemon X and Y, so I don't know why the unnamed episode of Diamond and Pearlness couldn't help explain things in Sun and Moon. But then again, maybe Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is just designed to explain all this in the first place, and they wouldn't even need to explain it in a remake of Diamond and Pearl, but I still feel like if they don't do a remake of Diamond and Pearl, or if they do a remake of Diamond and Pearl, and it does not have Giratina and the others being an Ultra Beast, I don't really see what the point of making a Diamond and Pearl remake even would be, because it's just such an obvious thing that you could do. Why would you not do it? The question of the day is presented by the letters A and S. So if you actually like Pokemon and understood what that video is about, am I insane, or... And if you don't like Pokemon, did that video make, like, any sense at all? Because I was trying to talk fast so that I wouldn't go over the 4-minute limit, but I feel like it just made everything sound like a blur. Person watching this, I hope you don't get possessed by a jellyfish like Lusamine did, and I will see you tomorrow.